today what I'm talking about is, do you have an open door? Okay? Now you could actually apply this to your personal life too. Do you have an open door, and how open is it? Now, for those of you that are listening, I spent 10 years of my career in retail and management with Walmart. Okay? And this is something that's spoken of on a regular basis. But I've determined as I've come up in life is that doesn't necessarily mean what people think it means. Okay? Open door is basically a place where employees can go to speak about issues, concerns, problems they may be having, to a manager. Okay? But the question is, how open is that door? Because oftentimes I've seen that the management that's responsible for taking these people in may not know how to address issues, maybe haven't been trained how to discuss certain things, or maybe just frankly don't care really, okay? Because a lot of people, let's face it, as long as they're getting paid, they don't care about anybody else, okay? And that's very unfortunate. But today what I want to do is I want to help those businesses, managers, continue to get better, and morale is a serious issue in a lot of business, okay? And I believe there's one thing that you can do to actually help that, and it's also the one thing that can be the cause of that, and they're both the same thing, and that's having an effective open door. Okay? Now, when I'm talking about open door, I'm talking about being able to listen and go back to what I said yesterday about actually caring about people, helping people, and wanting to be interested in them. Exactly. That's exactly right, Jeffrey, which is my point. This is why I'm bringing this up. The next 2 or 3 days, actually I'm going to do this today, tomorrow, and Thursday, I believe, is talking about this because I believe this is one of the worst causes of turnover, morale issues in business. Okay? So if you do say you have an open door, how open is it? Okay? Is it just cracked where somebody has to go to the door and whisper into you? Right? But what I want to do today is I want to tell you a way that you can actually help morale. Because let me tell you something. Just because somebody has a complaint, just because somebody comes to you with a concern, doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give in to all their needs and desires. That doesn't necessarily mean that. It doesn't necessarily mean because somebody's in there complaining about their pay that you should automatically give them a pay raise. That's not what I'm talking about here. Because much like we always say in the car business, that price is not always and very seldom the determining factor of a car purchase, the same thing applies to employees or associates, okay? Just because money is on the top of their mind and what they're saying, that's not always the case. They, a lot of times, just want somebody to listen, okay? A lot of times it's just about listening, okay? Maybe it's just an extra day off or something like that, but the main thing is you got to hear the root of the problem. What's the problem? And how can we address it? Because let's say it frankly. Yeah, exactly. Let's just say it frankly. There's some people that just need to be told the truth. Okay? Some of those ones that are disgruntled are always going to be disgruntled. They're always going to complain about stuff. So you have to be able to distinguish as a manager what is a true issue, problem, concern that can be dealt with, or is it just somebody complaining that just needs to be told the truth? Okay? Because let's face it. At the end of the day, if you got a problem child and you're a manager, you have to make a decision. Are you willing to keep that person on and it's going to hurt your business? What's up, Scott? Are you willing to keep that person on that's going to hurt the culture of what you're trying to do in the business, or do you need to cut them loose? That's the decision that's got to be made. That's not what I'm talking about today. Because a lot of times you will have those people that's going to complain and complain and complain, and they're not even doing what they're supposed to do, so therefore they got to go. But what I want to do today is I want to offer a suggestion to managers that, or GMs or managers or trainers or whatever the case may be, and you're wanting to help morale and you're wanting to help turnover in your business, okay? It goes back to what I talked about yesterday. You got to show you care, right? And you got to be involved and interested. But how can you do that if you're only sitting in your office? You're not connected to what's going on. You're not connected to the people that are making your paycheck for you. So therefore, all they think they are is the cause of your paycheck. They're only money to you, okay? So here's what I'm going to suggest. And like I said, as I go on the next 2 days, I'm going to bring up some other problems and issues and concerns and things that maybe the open door can help. But here's what I'm going to suggest. Be proactive and not reactive, okay? Here's what I'm talking about. And I've seen some GMs and some managers actually do this. Exactly, Jeff. Some people actually do this. They go out and they talk to their people. They ask how their family is doing. They learn a little bit about them. They care to know what's going on in their lives. Now, granted, I'm one of the worst about remembering stuff, so I may have talked to you multiple times to get stuff. But you have to remember something. Depending on how many employees you have, this may be easier in some areas than others. But that's why you have other managers. That's why you have human resource managers. That's why you have GSMs and used car managers. That's why you have finance managers. You have all these people that should be thinking like that because, exactly, Scott, that's a perfect way to put it. But, you know, we're talking about this open door. That doesn't mean that you sit behind your desk and you wait for people to come in and throw their problems on your desk and you have to close the door and address them when you don't even know what's going on. The problem is we're not being proactive, okay? We're trying to be reactive. If you're proactive, which means you're going to learn, you're going to try to learn how to deal with issues and exactly, showing you care. That's all it means is, what's up, Brandon? If you're proactive, what that means is you're going to, number one, you're going to try to learn. You're going to try to get taught by some of the best in the business or in certain aspects of life to be able to help people. Because obviously, like I said, most people just want somebody to hear them. You can't fix every problem. You can't go out and overnight address every cultural issue you have in your business, right? People just want you to listen to them. But here's what I'm talking about being proactive. Number one, learning. But number two, being seen, okay? Be out there, be involved. I'm not talking about going out there and doing the work for people. I'm talking about actually going out there, visiting with them. If it's just 5 or 10 minutes, getting to know them, you know, understand who they are, and that builds a lot of morale up with that person, okay? Like I said, you got to care and you got to be interested in those people. Like I said, you're not going to fix every issue in everybody's life. That's not going to happen. Let's just go ahead and throw that out there, okay? I'm not going to be able to go out as a manager or a business owner and give everybody a $5 an hour raise. That's just not going to happen because you got to have production there. But how do you get the production up? The production comes through building morale in your employees. If you can't get off your tushy, you can't get off the can, your mind's somewhere else and you're not involved in your business, you don't know what's going on, you can't be involved in your people. Okay? Exactly, Jeff. We're more than a number. Now, like I said, granted, there's some businesses bigger than others, and they may need help with this. They may need other managers to be involved in this. But at the end of the day, if you don't know what's going on in your business, it's going to affect all your people. It's going to affect all of them. Like I said, you're not going to be able to fix all problems, and you may have to get rid of problem children. Okay, let's just face it. That's just how it is. They got to be disciplined. You might have to get rid of them. But if you're more proactive than reactive, I promise you it will be an easier task because you'll already know what's going on. Jonathan Sewell, appreciate you jumping in, man. You already know what's going on because you're already out there. You're already the first one in the field shooting. You're the first one out there trying to help. You understand what I'm saying? If you got a problem in your business, most of the time you got to look at yourself first. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm guilty of it, and when I was with Walmart, I was guilty of it because I didn't understand this. I didn't understand this at the time. It's taken me a long time to get this, but when I covered the turnover yesterday, what's up, AJ? When I covered turnover yesterday, it made me start thinking, because I've been planning this open door topic for about a month or two, but I didn't want to introduce it until after I had dealt with the turnover aspect because I appreciate that, man. It means a lot, AJ. Because I believe that in any business, not just the car business, that any business, if you will just show them that you care and be interested, a lot of times you're going to keep your good people, even if they're making less money. Why? Because they're happy working for you. The culture's good. Do you understand what I'm saying? They see somebody that actually cares. Because I'm going to tell you, in the car business, and most of you guys that are in the car business will understand this and know this, most of the time, all the manager's worried about is how much money I'm making. Or how much money they're making, I guess I should say. the individual salespeople a lot of times don't get the credibility and the notoriety that they deserve. Okay, I don't want it, to be honest with you. I'd rather stay under the radar myself. But at the end of the day, if you want to keep good employees, you want to keep good car salespeople, you want to keep good managers, you want to keep good trainers or whatever in your line of work, you got to be proactive. You got to be involved in what's going on in their lives. I'm not saying go out and be able to remember every single thing about them, because it's tough to do. I will say that. But just listening, okay, getting away from the desk, getting out of the office, walking around, being social. Exactly, Jonathan. That's exactly right. With customers, you can do it with customers. Exactly, Scott. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, you're going to spend more time with those people that actually want to improve. Okay, but what if you have somebody you just hired? Okay, and they've been with you a month or two, and you can see that they're not really performing or doing anything. Okay, do we want to waste that as a turnover, like I talked about yesterday, or do we want to be involved and go find out, hey, what's going on? What can I help you with? What can I do to help you get to the next level? Okay, and like I said, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm going to touch on a couple more topics on the open door. But today's lesson, if you're a manager, business person, whatever, open door policy is very important. Open door. But open door doesn't mean sit in your office, wait for them to come to you. You got to be proactive instead of reactive. The more proactive you are, the better off you're going to be as a manager, and you'll show your people how much you care. I hope this has helped somebody today. Just want to help somebody. Just want to reach out. Message me if you have any questions on this topic. You can drop some ideas in this comment section. If you have any ideas of how open door can actually help benefit somebody, benefit a business, a company, a manager, drop it in here, because there's a lot of people that watch these videos and actually read these comments. So that might help somebody. The next 2 days, I'm going to cover some more on the open door. So if everybody has a great day. Today's Tuesday. June's about to wrap up, and I can tell because July is going to be hot as fire. It's already getting that way today. So this has been the Fist Pump Guy. Thank you for watching. Selling cars the right way, because it's the only way I know. Follow the Fist Pump Enterprise.